So many jewelry business owners pour time and energy into marketing without realizing that where they sell is shaping everything, including what's possible in terms of how they connect with customers. In this episode, I'm breaking down the difference between marketplaces and proprietary sales channels, how each one impacts your marketing strategy, and what it really takes to build a business on your own terms. All right, sparklers, let's talk about something that's really easy to overlook, but it's actually shaping your entire marketing strategy. I'm talking about where you sell your jewelry, whether you're on Etsy, Faire, or your own Shopify site, or even sliding into DMs with a Venmo link. Your sales channel isn't just a storefront. It's a foundation. And depending on what you've chosen, it could either be fueling your growth or quietly limiting it. So let me use a metaphor to make this more real. Selling on a marketplace is like renting an apartment. It's convenient. You don't have to build anything from scratch. You move in, decorate a little, and enjoy the amenities. But ultimately, it's not yours. You're following someone else's rules, and they can raise the rent or kick you out anytime. Selling through your own channels, like your website or email list, is more akin to owning a home. You're building equity, you get to remodel, repaint, expand. Yes, it takes more investment up front, but in the long run, you're the one in control. And when it comes to your marketing, that distinction really matters as well. So let me break that down. First, I really want to clarify what are marketplaces versus proprietary channels. So marketplaces, again, are platforms like Etsy, Faire, Amazon, eBay, even some other consignment and wholesale platforms. They're providing you with a ready-made customer base, but you don't own the experience or the relationship with the end consumer. Proprietary channels, on the other hand, are ones you own or fully control. That means your website on Shopify, for example, even your email list or sales made through like SMS. They require more legwork, but again, they are yours. You can control what that customer relationship looks like. And I do want to clarify here, because what I didn't mention in any of those sales channel options was the DM. For some jewelry brands out there, Instagram DMs are kind of their primary sales channel. And I do want to clarify and let you know that's also considered rented land. It might feel more personal. You're having a real conversation. You're connecting with your buyers one-on-one. But if Instagram were to go down or your account got flagged or hacked, well, you lose that access instantly. And good luck trying to get it back. It's going to be really hard. So again, you don't own those conversations. You don't have a reliable backup. So while DMs can support your primary sales channel strategy, they shouldn't be the foundation of it. And all of this is not about choosing a right platform or a wrong platform or channel. But if you're not aware of how your selling platform impacts your marketing strategy and your business strategy overall, you may be investing your time and money in a marketing approach that isn't set up to work. So what's the reality of this in terms of how it affects marketing when you're selling on marketplaces? So of course, there are upsides, and that's why people use marketplaces. Marketplaces are easy to get started on. There's already built-in traffic. There's brand awareness. People go there with the intent to shop. You don't need to figure out how to drive people to your own site right away. But the catch is you're building someone else's business. The glowing reviews that you get from your customers, technically they belong to a platform like Etsy. The traffic, again, a platform like Etsy, it's their traffic. You don't have any data about it. And if Etsy or insert other marketplace platform here, if their algorithm changes or the rules shift or your listings get removed, you're back at square one. You also don't own your customer data when you sell on marketplaces. So it's very difficult to get email addresses unless you have some kind of follow-up strategy that comes after the purchase. There's no easy way to retarget. You can't set up abandoned cart flows or segment out your VIP customers. You also really have limited creative control. So branding, visuals, even how your product is discovered, the platform decides how you're able to shape those things. So if you're trying to build a brand, a long-term, meaningful connection with your audience, then marketing on a marketplace can really start to feel like you are spinning your wheels. You're going to be doing the work anyway, but someone else is reaping those long-term benefits. So now, what is the shift when it comes to proprietary sales channels? So what happens when you do sell on your own terms? With your own sales channel, again, like with a Shopify store or on another e-commerce platform, you gain complete control over the experience from the product page layout to the post-purchase thank you email. Every touch point becomes a branding opportunity for you. Ownership of your customer data. So you can set up smart automations, personalize your marketing, and actually build relationships that can lead to repeat purchases. Scalability with intention. So instead of shouting into the algorithm void, you can focus on creating a consistent message that evolves over time. But I am not trying to sugarcoat this. Selling on your own platform is way more work upfront. The hardest part is not building the website. It's not even writing the emails. It's not uploading the products, not taking the photos, all of the logistical things. Not hard compared to the real journey, which is audience acquisition. You could have the most stunning, beautifully branded Shopify site in the world, but if no one knows it exists, it's basically like throwing a party and forgetting to invite people. That old saying, if you build it, they will come. Yeah, that's not true in e-commerce. In fact, one of the biggest wake-up calls I see jewelry brands experience is this. They finally launched their site, and because they're so close to it and have spent months working on it and put all the time and effort, they are so convinced that the closeness they feel to it will automatically radiate out into the world, and then nothing happens. No shade to you if you're one of those people and you've had that wake-up call. I'm not trying to make you feel bad here. It's just what happens. It's a reality. But then you're faced with amazing site, beautiful products, then no traffic, no sales, basically crickets. And it's not because you or they have done something wrong. It's because they don't realize how much energy, resources, time, money needs to go into getting people there in the first place. Driving traffic is a whole skill set. Their search engine optimization is one tactic so that people can find you when they're Googling. But that is not a single audience acquisition strategy to rely on. Also, you need consistent, aligned social media content. If you're ready for them, paid ads, which is a way to bring eyeballs to your site. But again, no necessary guarantee for conversions there. An email list and the dedication to growing that email list, which also requires traffic to come to your site. And good old-fashioned word of mouth and community building. And this is the biggest mindset shift and the biggest reality between renting selling on marketplaces and selling on your proprietary channels. When you rent, the traffic comes to you. At least you hope it does. When you own, you have to bring the traffic in. But once you do, if you do decide to sell on your own proprietary channel, you get to keep those people, or at least keep their information, as long as you also have a system to collect that information and to get them to opt in to, say, an email list or an SMS list or both. And you get to build those relationships. You're no longer at the mercy of someone else's algorithm. You're then creating an ecosystem that supports you long term. So, yes, it's more work, but it's work that builds equity. It all just makes me think of my own experiences selling for fun on eBay, which I have done since, 2011. I've been an eBay seller, and I just sell like old stuff I have lying around that I no longer want, or things I find or that I think might have value to someone else. It's more just like a fun hobby to get a few extra dollars here and there. And I remember many years ago, it was a lot easier to get visibility on eBay. And I could reliably even say I would get, dozens of views on a listing that I put up. And I've seen the evolution of that marketplace over the years. And now when I list something, they're trying to encourage their sellers to pay to play, basically. And so the same way that algorithms have changed on social media platforms and other selling platforms, of course, I am not going to invest in my own proprietary sales channel for selling like the junk I have around my house. But I have noticed all the ways that these platforms have changed, and your decision to sell on a channel, as part of like your strategic business decision, you have to be aware of all of these pros and cons and how you're going to have to adjust and be realistic based on the circumstances and the environment. And there is another reality of selling on your own channels. Everything then is on your own shoulders. So of course, I'm not going to sell my eBay junk to, be fully responsible for a website that I have to drive traffic to. That means I would have to deal with customer service, all the shipping logistics, handling disputes, people who don't pay, fraudulent payments, processing returns. You're the final stop for all of it. On a marketplace like Etsy or Faire, there's at least a framework there. Sometimes you can then escalate a situation, and there are usually protections in place and support systems you can lean on. But when you're fully independent and you're choosing to invest in your own sales channel, everything's on you. And for some people, that's really empowering. For other people, it's really overwhelming, or maybe it just doesn't make business sense for where you are right now. It doesn't mean, or does mean, that you should or shouldn't do one or the other. It just means you need to be prepared and ideally have some way to support yourself and your customers and have systems in place for whichever path you choose, and be very realistic about what's possible. And this all is why many jewelry brands stick with marketplaces, because it feels easier. But again, knowing that you're renting visibility instead of owning your audience. So how can you decide what's right for you if you're at a place where you're newer to jewelry, to selling jewelry, and you're trying to figure out what is the right direction for you? There's no one size fits all answer. Sorry, I don't have a better one for you, but there really isn't. Some brands really thrive on Etsy. Some never touch a marketplace and build community through DMs or email or another channel. But these are some questions you can ask yourself. Am I focused on fast sales or building a long-term brand? Do I have a direct relationship with my customers already? Do I have the capacity or support to invest in things like email marketing, SEO, and content? And am I willing to learn and adapt, or do I need plug and play? And maybe the answer is a blend of all of those things, and it's more nuanced than that. Maybe you sell on a marketplace and on your own channel. That is a possibility as well. But you have to be clear about what you're expecting from all of these platforms and whether your marketing is aligned with all those expectations. If you're selling primarily on marketplaces, your marketing should focus on product listings with strong SEO and descriptions, earning and leveraging reviews, using packaging inserts and follow-up messages to invite customers to your email list. If you're investing in your own channels, your marketing should focus on storytelling and branding, email marketing and flows or automations, and building traffic through organic and paid strategies. Also, creating an experience that invites people into your brand, not just to buy and be done with you forever, but to stay and come back and to refer you to their friends. So own where you're going. That's the main takeaway I want you to get from this segment. Marketing is not one size fits all. And where you choose to sell, that's the foundation your marketing is built on. So don't build a palace on rented land. Own your strategy. If it makes sense, own your space. Try to own your brand if you are in this for the long term. But ultimately, you deserve a business that supports you, not just the platform it lives on. This week, why don't you ask yourself, where are you currently making most of your sales? Are you putting the right marketing effort behind that channel? And what's one small step you could take toward more ownership or better alignment for your business goals? Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for even more tips.